So we know it's going to be a busy weekend. We got the Weather Festival, we got the Greek Festival, but there's Hunt the Zoo, and we're going to be out there in the morning.
Out there, you'll be out there for the eclipse. I'm going to be out there when it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
So that cold front coming through, but bringing a little rain with it, too.
Yes, we did have that cold front that moved through late last night, and I know on my way home after the 10 o'clock show, we had a couple of raindrops, but most of the rain really fell in parts of southern Oklahoma County. So the airport actually picking up a little over a quarter inch of rain.
Wow.
So some pretty decent rain for parts of the state, that's for sure. But today, that cold front is long gone. So lots of sunshine out there today. The wind, though, it is coming in out of the northwest, so quite a bit of difference. It's been significantly cooler in some spots, especially in parts of western Oklahoma, where we're anywhere between about 20 to as much as around 30 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So now let's go to Lynx 1. I'm going to show you where all the rain ended up with last night, again, starting from all the way down there in Comanche County, all the way up towards Miami. So some pretty nice, decent rainfall totals, but all of that was very isolated. Most of the state, of course, stayed very dry, but that cold front well off to the east, taking all the rain along with it, and now we are left with some colder air that will be settling in later tonight, more so for the Panhandle. That's where we could actually see some frost and even a freeze warning for the western part of the Panhandle. So right now, nice and sunny. This is our downtown camera up of our Lucky Star Skycam network. We're at 68 degrees, a northwest wind at 21 miles an hour, wind gust up to about 33. Temperatures in the low to mid 60s in the northwest. We have lots of upper 60s in the northeast and low to mid 70s across the southern half of the state. And again, a big difference compared to where we were this time yesterday, mostly west of I-35. Not a huge difference out to the east because we had a lot of cloud cover yesterday afternoon, but anywhere from, again, about 15 to as much as around 30 degrees cooler than where we were this time yesterday. And again, the wind today coming out of the northwest. We've had a wind gust of up to 50 miles per hour down there in Medicine Park, a 39 here in Oklahoma City, but lots of 40s, getting pretty close to 50 in western and northwest Oklahoma. Again, with that northwest wind between about 20 to as much as around 35 miles an hour up there in the northwest. So everything's a lot cooler, more windy in northwest Oklahoma. Well, the cold front's going to continue to track off to the east, and the cooler air is going to continue to settle in. So this weekend, it's going to feel and look exactly like fall, how it should be. Temperatures will be in the mid 60s, at least for highs, but those overnight lows, it's going to be a little bit more chilly, settling down into the 40s and 30s for some of the state. Now, as we get into early next week, we will have a brief period of when temperatures do make it back into the 70s. So we're talking into Tuesday and even into Wednesday. But by the time we get into late Wednesday afternoon, the time is going to change on this a little bit by the time we get there. So we will have to fine tune it. But the cold front's going to come through sometime during the day, Wednesday. That will bring just a slight chance of rain and storms. The moisture actually increases the further east that you go outside of Oklahoma, unfortunately. But here, I think that temperatures will drop at least a couple of degrees, but not a big time cold front by any means, at least not at this point. So tonight, dropping down into the mid 40s. It's going to stay breezy under mostly clear skies. But again, we could see some frost out in the Panhandle and that freeze in the far western part of the Panhandle. The rest of us tomorrow afternoon dropping down into the 60s for high. So about 64 in Oklahoma City. It's going to stay breezy out of the northwest, upper 60s to low 70s across the far south. By the time we get into tomorrow night and into Sunday morning, it's still going to be breezy, but the wind comes down just a little bit more to the far west. So now dropping down to about 38 degrees Sunday morning in Woodward, 39 in Clinton, 35 degrees in Guymon. We're talking about mid 40s in Oklahoma City, upper 40s, low 50s across the eastern half of the state. So there could be areas of patchy frost in parts of northwest and western Oklahoma, but the rest of the state shouldn't see anything like that, at least not just yet. By the time we get into Sunday afternoon, still a breezy north wind, temperatures topping out in the mid 60s in Oklahoma City, about 63 in Stillwater, 63 in Alva, 67 in Lawton, 68 degrees Sunday afternoon in Ardmore. And then we start to warm up a little bit as we get into Tuesday into Wednesday, but that cold front will drop us at least a handful of degrees by the time we get into Thursday with just a slight chance of rain at this point. We'll be right back.